Top banana.
All right, we got some mail here. Let's see who we can help out with this video. Dear BrushForHire, I'm a huge fan of your videos. They have helped me become a better person. I was wondering if I could ask you for help. I am DMing a D&D campaign and my main bad guy is a wizard. I need help coming up with the centerpiece for him on our table. Right now, it just feels like there is a huge hole present in our game. Thank you so much for your help. Sincerely, Richard. Richard, I got you. I know exactly what we can make for you. Look, I made a plan on paper, so I look like a professional. This build's gonna be focused on mainly just using things I found and have laying around. I got this. I can do this. I'm a professional. Really high quality schematics. It makes it easier for what I want to do later in the project. There we go. I got this, we're good. Gotta sand the shaft of the can here. That way everything sticks to it easier. I don't want that glossy finish. This feels very familiar, this motion. I don't know why, but I guess I've probably seen a lot of cylindrical objects in my day. Glue and sticks together for the door. I'm just using whatever scraps of other project stuff I have there to not glue these straight to the desk. It's called learning from experience. Roughing in the shape of the door. Why is this voiceover so aggressive already? I don't know why it's so aggressive. Look, I'm staying centered more on the camera. I'm learning. This is my janky hot wire cutter tool. I basically just masking taped a big popsicle stick tongue depressor thing to it so I can have consistency. So I can make 800 million little blocks. So many foam blocks. Dear God, there were so many foam little blocks. This foam was also found. I was driving down the road and somebody had it in a garbage pile, so I swung back around, grabbed it, and was like, this is like a gold mine. This is like $8 worth of foam for free. Motherfucking free. This is me definitely hot gluing and not pretending to hot glue the door on because I had already did it and forgot to record it. So I had cut up all the blocks, I put them in a plastic container full of actual real rocks so I could shake it up and give them the texture of real rock. Gluing the blocks on. I can't be the only one that's wanted to, like, you know, just squirt hot glue directly into their mouth. Am I? No, of course I'm not. There's gotta be other people that have wanted to do that. Delicious. So what I was doing here is drawing a straight line on a can so I could kind of have some kind of alignment for the blocks that I could like start them at, so that way they would stay pretty straight and not crooked all over the place. So it looks like I had some sense of what I was doing. God, look at that hot glue. Was that better? Perfect? Okay, good. Good. That's some free hair footage for you there. You're welcome. So many blocks. So many. And every once in a while I trim them up so they can stay kind of consistent and I don't have to fight with them not fitting together.
A few moments later.
A few moments? It was like 6 goddamn weeks of glowing blocks on. Holy fuck! Okay, it wasn't that long. A couple hours maybe, but it felt like forever. But yeah, glued it on there. Get that last one on there. Come on, do it. Put the block on. What are you doing? Don't trim the shit out so the lines don't match up or something. Get the last one. Just make it fit. Ugh. No. No, put it back. Put it fucking back. This. Yeah. Just. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here I was trying a couple different techniques. I was putting the liquid stone powder directly on and then I was gonna wet it. I just kind of worked it into the cracks there. Watch how wet we make the shaft here. As you can see here, I got it all wet. And sometimes we just try things and make it up as we go and see what happens. So that's what I did. I really like rubbing this tower, apparently. There's a lot of footage of me just going up and down the shaft of this tower a lot, isn't there? God damn it. That's a wet shaft. My shaft is all wet. Shaft is super wet. Got some white crusty stuff all over the tower that I'm scraping. You can see here that I was cleaning off some white crusty stuff that had accrued on the tower there. I was filling all the cracks and crevices and I just didn't want that. I wanted to have some shape and defineness and some nice ridges and bumps to the tower. Here I'm just using one of my sculpting tools to kind of score the lines out a little bit, because some of what I tried there didn't work as well and it filled in the gaps and lines a little too much. So we're just kind of reshape and cleaning out the extras. Extra chunks and stuff. I'm making a roof. So I figured out the diameter that I needed somehow. Don't remember exactly how I did it, but it just kind of winged it. Then we fold it over till it's a nice cone shape. And ultimately the size that I want. See, test fitting. You see, that's a good tip for that tower. It's a real nice cap on the end there. Squirting that glue in there. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I think about eating my art supplies. So one of the points of this build was to use, like I said, found objects and just random scraps of stuff that I had sitting around and spare stuff to keep this as cheap as possible and as accessible as possible. So I'm just using more same cardboard cut up, scuffing it up so the paint and adhesive will stick a little bit better so it's not so glossy. Just kind of cut them up into random shapes and sizes and going to try and make them look like a shingled cone roof. Yep. Just kind of put them so they'd be stacked on here because I want it to look like it was just kind of like haphazardly put together. And definitely not because I just haphazardly put it together. It was meant to look like this. Yeah. After primering, I used some white paint with a rough brush to add some streaks as an undertone. That way when I do some transparent glazing, as you see here, it will make it look like it's serrated wood. I think that's the word. Nice purplish roof cap there. I'm giving it a good coat of primer here to get ready to bring out all the details and textures of the shaft of the tower here. Nice dark primer to get all the cracks and crevices. Here you see I'm using the 4-finger technique here to hold that. little bit more of an advanced technique. You don't always want to go straight to the 4 fingers. Gotta work up to that. And here we're just straight out into 5 fingers. You definitely want to make sure your shaft is fully coated. Here you can see I'm using the flail like a psychopath technique with a sandstone color to coat this as quickly as I can. Not quite the most advanced technique for holding this kind of stuff, but we'll get there. You see, once again, I'm using a 4-finger technique in the hole of the tower here, be able to hold it properly. Instead of a normal gray tower that you would see here, because I wanted it to be more of kind of like a nice tannish, almost a nice brown tan type tone to it. Dry brushing! You don't want your stone to be monochromatic, because that is a very boring thing to look at when it's just all light and dark shades the same color. Now we're going to add some weathering. Nice sap green Liquitex ink. So we want this tower to look old and well worn and well used. So we're going up and down the shaft of it here with a little bit of green, brushing, spreading it around, softening it some. Here I'm going in with a little bit of a wash of the same stuff I used on the roof, so that way it kind of unifies the colors together there. And I was using a paper towel to wick some of that back off. You can see I put it on, dab it about, just to kind of add it in there in the undertones. And you go back to more dry brushing, so that way it leaves the color undertones as undertones and not covering everything. Really like going up and down that shaft a lot. Like, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. And this will make the stone textures that I put in the foam pop out. When working with the shaft here, I like to use quick flicking motions. It really kind of helps make sure I'm just catching the ridges. Start to prep work on the bushes here for the tower. I want to use these round styrofoam balls as just a really nice, aesthetically pleasing trimmed hedge for the tower. This is me doing this the hardest way possible because I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking here when I was like, oh, I'll just do this all with a brush. Sometimes we try to do things the hard way, apparently. This is me realizing, oh yeah, I have an airbrush and green paint. So let's just, let's do it this way and not make this harder on myself than I need to be. Ah, in comes our Glorse. This is our glue horse. He's a good Glorse. It's a nice floral feature. Nice round bushes there. Ah, you thought I was done, bitches. I'm gonna attach our shaft to the base here. Add a little walkway there, a little inviting walkway, a little bit of rocks, a little bit of sand. Add some more sand and rocks and texture. Give the ground some variation there. Glorse! Nay! Bitch. Sometimes you gotta get in here with that white sticky substance where we get a nice even coat of spreading it everywhere. And that nice Elmer's glue and just get it all over your hands. That way it makes a nice piece of tabletop scenery and we don't get it falling over when people try to use it for their little adventures. Yeah, someone pointed out you definitely want your tower to be erect at all times on the table. You definitely don't want that getting limp and falling over. Definitely just not make for fun gaming. There's just something nice about the girthiness of this tower. It just makes it easy to hold and grip like that. More dry brushing up the colors here. I'm sure I did some washes on the ground there to add some color variation along with the size variation. Magical. Oh, I made a dick. It's a dick! Fuck.